The state of Israel is white Europeans moving to a place they don't belong and genociding the natives. They even took along some black Africans who they're racist against just for good measures. It sounds like somewhere else. Literally, though, according to Shlomo Sand, a Jewish professor of history at the University of Tel Aviv, not some anti-Semite, he wrote a book called The Invention of the Jewish People. And in this book, he talks about how he was wondering, where is the evidence for a Jewish diaspora from Palestine? And so he started looking, and he found there is zero evidence for a Jewish diaspora from Palestine in the archaeological record. And the only evidence for it is in the Torah, so that's not evidence at all. But what there is overwhelming evidence for is the original Mizrahi Jewish residents of Palestine. They converted to Islam at the Arab conquests. And then white Europeans converted to Judaism. Like, Judaism was not a diaspora religion. It was a normal conversion religion like any other. And white Europeans converted to it. And now they are moving to Palestine and genociding the original residents of Palestine. The descendants of the original Jews are being genocided by white Europeans. It's just the same as the United States, but with a code of religion, but not really, because Theodore Herzl was a fucking atheist. Right-wingers and Zionists love to make this argument. Read a history book. Like, it's not clearly obvious to anyone who has done the reading that you probably haven't. Do you have a book that you want to recommend me, maybe? Or do you want to share Goodreads accounts? Or are you just projecting your own insecurities on other people? I read hundreds of books a year, so when I have a book to recommend someone, I'll give it to you. Here's a bit of my free Palestine shelf on Goodreads. We've got One Day Everyone Will Always Have Been Against This by Omar Ellicott. I just finished this the other day. Phenomenal, essential book for anyone that cares about the Palestinian struggle. There's The Palestine Laboratory by Anthony Lowenstein, which is a book about how military contractors use Gaza to test weapons on. How about The 100 Years' War on Palestine by Rashid Khalidi? Or The Invention of the Jewish People by Shlomo Sand, a Jewish professor of history at the University of Tel Aviv, that basically proves that Palestine belongs to the Palestinians. Or On Palestine by Noam Chomsky, or Minor Detail by Adanias Shalib, or The Ethnic Cleansing of Palestine by Alain Pape. Or I could go on and on and on. It doesn't end here, but I think you get the point. You want to see my other shelves when you want to argue about this? Because give me some recommendations. Stop with the read a history book shit. It's been done. Yo, Herman, that house that you live in with your family that you think is yours, that's actually mine. It says so in a 5,000-year-old book. So I'm going to move there tomorrow. I know I've never been there before, but it is mine. And so you can move into the basement with your family if you're nice. If you try to resist whatsoever, you will be met with force. And we have the backing of the U.S. military. So I hate to break it to you, but it's not yours anymore. That's what you sound like. Literally, they shouldn't have resisted. It was their country. What did you expect them to do? You sound like someone that would blame a great victim for being great. Y'all are nuts. Even if you accept that Ashkenazis have any business living in the Levant, which they don't, they are white Europeans, you are still saying that it is the fault of the Palestinian people, the original residents of Palestine for at least thousands of years. It is their fault for resisting people who wanted to take their home.